My name is Richard Pearsall. I go by the nickname Rick. My wife and I live in the Philomont, Virginia area, and I've been a member of Philomont Volunteer Fire Department for just under 25 years and a member of the Purcellville Volunteer Rescue Squad for just under 10 years. Life member at Philomont, hope to be soon a life member at Purcellville Rescue. Retired federal employee. I spent 35 years working for civil service, 30 years with the U.S. Geological Survey in Reston, Virginia, and then 5 years with the Department of Defense. Main specialty is surveying and mapping. And one of the honors I had in 1979 was to travel to Antarctica, do mapping down there for some of the geologists. And at the same time, I actually traveled to the South Pole and actually surveyed in the geographic South Pole. The honor I got from that was I actually have a feature named after me, Pearsall Ridge in Antarctica. And surveying and mapping is something I've enjoyed doing. Reading many books about, the old days in terms of how did they do surveying and mapping. Well, one of the neat technologies is the use of drones for surveying and mapping and just taking images. And I've actually gone out on several instances and used my drone to help Loudoun County Fire and Rescue. Right, so at Philomont, I presently serve as the chief. I have been a vice president of Philomont. I've been the president of Philomont. I was the president of Philomont during their 50th anniversary, and that was really neat to do. I've also been a member of the board for many, many, many years. Been a captain, been a lieutenant, been the assistant chief, and I'm now the chief. So in Purcellville, I'm actually an EMT driver. So I've never pursued an officer's position in Purcellville Rescue. I'm more commitment to Philomont. Again, that's my home. That's my first preference of stations. So I joined Purcellville Rescue when I retired, and I wanted to make sure I could keep my EMT skills up to date because it's kind of hard to do that in Philomont. We don't get that many calls. So I joined Purcellville Rescue, and it's been there just under 10 years. So I was raised in upstate New York. Actually born and raised on Long Island, and then my parents moved into upstate New York when I was in 8th grade. And up there you actually became a member of your local volunteer fire department almost automatically at age 15, because the boys were asked to bring in clothes to their lockers at school, because in case of a forest fire, many times you would get pulled out of school to help put the forest fire out. When I moved out to the Philomont area, I actually had a friend who also worked at the USGS, which is where I work, that suggested I maybe look to join. He was a member, and so I went to one of the meetings, got to know some of the people, really good people, and I said, this is something I can do. This is something I feel is a good way to provide back to the public. It's a good public service. So I joined. But I think when people join, they need to realize that the companies are truly asking you to make a commitment of your time and your energy and your resources. And it's just not your time, it's your family's time. Because when you go off to firefighter 1 and 2 and EMT, 540 hours an hour training. So it's not just your time, it's your family's time. It is a occupation where people look out for each other because your lives depend upon it. Firefighting is a dangerous job. And to know that someone else is out there, that doesn't matter. You don't have to agree in politics. You don't have to agree on any number of different things, but I have your back. If you get in trouble, if you need me, I am here. So after Hurricane Harvey, the word came out that the Texas fire departments were in dire straits. Many of them were flooded out from the seawater that came on shore. And I was watching the news, and I was just sitting there with my wife, and I should say, watching the news, and it's like, and Philomont had just purchased a new engine, and we were looking, what do we do with our old engine? So we made arrangements. Hurricane Harvey, I think, was in August. By December, my assistant chief and I were driving our engine, it was a 2002 KM8 engine, to Port Aransas, Texas, to donate it to them. I understand it's still running today, as they still slowly piece their fire department together. So yes, there's the patient calls that become very important and make you feel good. I mean, a lot of it is what you do to the patient and the family and all that. But you walk away feeling with a sense of reward that you are actually able to do something that actually helped somebody and helped them to the point where you might even save their life. But then you also have the other indirect things, such as the donation of an engine to another company that was in need. I've been thanked many times. I had an individual come up to me after a public safety event saying, "You probably don't remember me, but," he says, "You did CPR on my dad." As soon as he mentioned the address, I knew exactly what it was. And his dad didn't make it, but he still made an effort to come up to me and thank me for my service. So there are things of that really, those you can't put into words. And you always get the thanks, no matter where you are.